The Golf Channel proudly presents the LPGA Tour. We're in South Alabama for live final round coverage of the Mobile LPGA Tournament of Champions. 300 years ago this year, under the direction of King Louis, the Sun King, the French explorers first established roots in this area. This week, a Swede is trying to stake her claim to one of the most prestigious titles in all of women's golf. Robert Trent Jones Golf Trail at Magnolia Grove, the Crossings course, and Karin Koch has been the engine driving this train this week. No question about it. A course record 62 on Thursday, her personal best in the course record by a couple. The lead over Emily Klein, who'd been bogey-free for the first 54 holes, and there's Annika. Pak goes to 16 under. Koch would birdie the third to go back to 17 under, and so it's a one-shot lead for Koch over Pak. Annika Sorenstam birdied 3, did not birdie the par 5 fourth, but this is her second at the 5th.
You hit it close, but she's got to start making those 5 and 6 and 7 footers.
And as we update the leaderboard, Karin Koch with that birdie goes to 18 under. Annika and Seri have moved to 16 under par, as you see. And it would appear, at least at the moment, that this is a 3-horse race with a lot of golf left on this championship Sunday. Annika in pursuit of history, and she'll do it under nearly perfect conditions. You see the Owens Corning playing conditions. There's a bit of a breeze today that could come into play as the afternoon wears on. Hello everyone, Grant Boone along with Donna Capone and our entire broadcast team. Welcome to the Golf Channel's exclusive coverage of the Mobile LPGA Tournament of Champions. Karin Koch, since that personal best 62 on Thursday, has had control of this tournament. What she has not had control of is her final rounds when she's had a share of the lead or the lead to herself. 0 for 7 in her career, Donna. A chance to erase that bad memory today.
Yeah, unfortunately, she just hasn't got the job done. In fact, this year in July, she was leading the British Open and unfortunately shot 74 the last round. But I do believe, and she does too, that she's a much better player now. You can see, watching these players for so many years, how they get better and better. They get their confidence going, and they start hitting it better. And also in talking to her this morning, I said, Karin, you know, you don't have to play 100% of your ability to win. She says, I've learned that after being out here for quite a few years, that you don't have to hit it perfect to win. But she's got her work cut out with those 2 players behind her, with Seri and Annika.
No doubt about it. And Seri and Annika both now 2 shots back at 16 under. Annika is closer now than she has been since the first round, when she shot 66 and Koch shot 62. Annika Sorenstam again chasing history, making us think of numbers we haven't thought of in years, looking for a 4th consecutive tournament victory and looking for a 10th win of 2002. She got it straightened out ball hitting wise. Can she make the putts now?
Well, it's a good thing she figured that out too, and it was just a couple of simple adjustments, and you see her scoring average 68.13. But I think she's got to make sure, she's got to take advantage of those 5 and 6 footers, which normally she's been making. I don't think she's real comfortable on these greens. I'm not saying that they're bad greens. In fact, they're perfect greens. But she hasn't been reading them or getting the speed as well as, let's say, the rest of the field.
This is a putt for par at the 8th. Huge par save, and right on cue, Donna. Annika Sorenstam making that par save and making it from that range that you talked about to stay 16 under. And again, we're looking for someone trying to win 10 tournaments in a season for the first time since 1968. Now we talk about the weather, and we mentioned it earlier. There is a bit of breeze. You think it'll make a difference?
Yeah, I do, and I think the advantage would be in Annika's wheelhouse. But you notice that putt there, absolutely aggressive, firm, took all the breakout. What we've been seeing is that a lot of the players have been playing too much break. And with the wind a little bit stronger today, it makes it a little bit tougher to get the ball close to the hole. So we'll have to see. I think it's going to be a great Sunday.
Well, Mickey Wright, Kathy Whitworth, Annika Sorenstam hold the record for winning 4 straight tournaments on the schedule. Nancy Lopez has the record for the most straight tournaments won in which you've participated. That's 5. Annika trying to win her 4th straight. Seri at the 8th.
Sayre told me this morning that she is so pleased with the way she's hitting the ball. Feels very comfortable. And, you know, just you had that look in her eye that she's going low today.
Helping us to follow the action today with our final and leading groups, Kay Cockrell and Laura Baugh. Championship Sunday in Mobile. Just a moment ago at 7, the leader by 2, Koch.
With a 5-iron in her hand, drawing it, trying to hold that left to right breeze.
Well,
Tough hole to get close to, and she did a nice job, Grant.
And impressive birdie putt at 6 for Karin Koch, giving her that cushion. She'll have another putt for birdie, trying to hold off 2 of the game's best. Championship Sunday in Mobile.
The Golf Channel's presentation of the LPGA Tournament of Champions, brought to you by Michelob Light, official beer of the LPGA. Visit lpga.com. By the beauty of Subaru all-wheel drive. When you get it, you get it. By Smirnoff. Discover Smirnoff and enjoy it responsibly. And by Golfsmith. If you really love golf, you'll love Golfsmith. Call, click, or come by Golfsmith.
Final round of the Mobile LPGA Tournament of Champions, a tournament won by Sayre Pak right here at the Crossings course last year at the Robert Trent Jones Golf Trail at Magnolia Grove. And Pak has this birdie attempt from just off the front of the green at the par 3 8th. She's 16 under. She's 2 back of the leader, Karin Koch. And Koch will have a birdie putt from close range of her own at the 7th momentarily.
Sayre was talking this morning about how many good putts she hit, that they just, you know, burning edges. Feels like she's rolling the ball well. It's a matter of, as difficult as these greens are, it's getting the right speed and the right line. You think you've read them correctly, and then it's just determining the right speed.
Pretty impressive, too, for Sayre Pak. 16 under par won this tournament for her going away last year by 5, as a matter of fact. She's 16 under now, but finds herself 2 back. But totally different greens. Not nearly as much grass on the greens last year. Completely different putting surfaces, but she's 32 under the last 2 years.
And lift clean in place because of the weather, so that they had the last couple weeks.
Rush that in to stay at 16 under. There's Karin Koch's caddy, and Kay Cockrell is there somewhere.
Just a 12-foot putt, albeit a somewhat tricky one. Yeah, they really dove hard to the left, slope pulling it and grain pulling it to the left.
She doesn't have an easy one left.
No, it's almost a 3-footer coming back.
With a big swing to her from her left to right.
Going with the Sunday pigtails, Karin Koch with a 2-shot lead, unable to take advantage. At the 9th hole, Sorenstam, Laura Baugh.
Slightly elevated green, 147 to the flagstick.
Annika Sorenstam with a 66-day 170 on Friday when she was not hitting the ball as well. As you take a really nice look at Magnolia Grove facility here at Robert Trent Jones Golf Trail in Mobile. Some of the colors of autumn. Christy Kerr at the 8th. Par putt for her. And much needed. Kerr got it to 14 under going into this final round. Bogeyed the first. She double bogeyed 6, then bogeyed 7. She's back to 11 under and tied for 9th. Second consecutive week in an elite event that Christy Kerr has played well, but it does not appear it will be enough for the second straight week. Playing with Annika Sorenstam in that third to the last group today is Rosie Jones.
She had a fairway medal, her 5-wood into this par 4. Not her best tee shot. Hit a great shot, but now she got a bit unlucky. She's got a scuffy little lie and not much green to work with, and what is there is extremely fast. This will take all her touch and feel and experience to get this one close.
6 top 10 finishes this year, ranked number 2 in putting. And in my book, has probably been the top 5 the last 15 or 20 years in putting.
So that left for Rosie to stay 13 under. Karin Koch, the leader, unable to make the birdie putt at 7, has this left for par.
She took a long time lining this up. She knows this is a very important putt. We talk about sometimes a shot or a putt that really makes the difference in a round.
Ooh,
That was struck very firmly, Donna.
Yeah.
With confidence.
Good save.
Does have a couple of 3-putt bogeys this week. We learned, as revealed yesterday, Karin Koch expecting her 2nd child. She's about 15 weeks along, playing for 2. And Annika Sorenstam playing for history at the 9th.
A little 12-footer uphill, not much break to this. She can be aggressive. It's just a real good birdie opportunity. Her shot, she thought she'd missed it a little to the left, but it turned out superb. She's definitely aggressive and seems on today, Donna.
Well, there was no surprise to me that she was going to come out blazing today.
Caught the edge. Annika has been bedeviled a bit by these greens. With the green,
everybody hold, please. They're not done yet.
Being a little slower because of the moisture the last couple of weeks. She's taken 89 putts the first 3 rounds, averaging about 30 putts a round.
The other thing too, though, you've got to get the ball on the proper side of the green, which we've talked about, because there are situations where you could be 20 feet from the hole and cannot run at it, or even 15 feet.
Karin Koch catches the edge and drops in for par at 7. Annika catches a lip and stays out at 9. The lead is 2 for Karin Koch. And Karin Koch, it hasn't always been pretty from the fairway this week. She has missed more greens each day. Hit 15 the first day, 12 the second, 10 yesterday. She has more often than not been able to get it up and down. She'll have her work cut out for it here, right up the fairway at the 9th, Kay?
If she had a decent lie in the rough, she could use a 9 or 11 wood and pop it up over the trees, but her ball's sitting down, so she will wisely chip out to the left.
Well done.
Try her best to get it up and down from, 110 yards or so.
She is so good at playing the par 5s in stations in 3 shots. This, in essence, becomes one of those situations for Karin, trying to get up and down from the fairway from short range. Well, this is an elite event. Winners only from 2000 forward, and active Hall of Fame members. And front and center this week among that Hall of Fame crowd is Nancy Lopez. Yesterday was Nancy Lopez Appreciation Day. A chance for us to celebrate.
Tremendous. She's going to be so missed, but not only by the fans, but the players. We just so enjoyed having her around, even though she was beating our brains in.
And as familiar as the smile is, the tears are a part of the legacy of Nancy Lopez as well. And it has been something of a teary farewell season. Great to see Nancy again this week. We're back with Karin Koch, our leader, at the 9th.
Hit that punch shot to just within 100 yards, 97 yards total, and that's right into Karin's strength. Very good wedge player. I think she ought to be able to get this ball back there close, realistically within 10 feet at the most.
On one hand, Kay, you say, boy, you can't keep going to the well and having to scramble. On the other hand, it's you continue to get up and down so many times, I guess you don't freak out as much when you miss the green.
You do what you have to do given the moment, given the day, and what your body is up to that particular day.
A solid shot, but a lengthy par putt coming up for Karin Koch, and of course her body is unique, carrying her second child, a little over a third of the way along. And that's what Karin Koch has left to remain at 18 under par. Take a look at our Scott's course setup here at the Crossings course at Magnolia Grove along the Robert Trent Jones Golf Trail. And one more pat on the back and an attaboy to Leighton Overstreet and company for getting this golf course in tremendous shape after the deluge on Thursday, which was really just more of the same from all the rain they'd had hurricane season. We're at the 10th, and Sayri Pak, along with Annika Sorenstam, 16 under, 2 back of Karin Koch. You saw Pak's tee shot at 10 kind of trickle into the right rough.
All above her feet. You can't quite tell what kind of lie she has, but anything in the rough there is going to jump.
Any strength, that's not a factor.
Oh, good shot.
Yes. There's something to be said with the strength to gouge it out of there. You still have to judge it properly, but Sayri is one of the strongest players out here. Meg Mallon at the 12th for birdie to go to 10 under. Meg is solo 15th place. 9 under. Before Meg, it was the birdie attempt of Laura Diaz, who's tied for 4th at 13.
Slow putt from below this hole. Get up there.
Diaz bogey free and 4 under for the day, 13 under for the championship. Karin Koch for the moment leads by 2. Can she make that 15-footer for par at the 9th? We'll see when we come back to Mobile.
We're going to have a tie in a minute here.
Yeah. What's Annika doing at 11, Laura?
She just laced it down there. She's got 103 to the pin.
Cool 103. It's a radio station.
Cool 103.
Cool 103.
I want to tell you, the angles that she goes, the angles that she cuts off.
Hey, Laura, is there a lot of roll? Have you seen, is there still not very much roll off the tee?
You know what's amazing to me is where Rosie Jones hit it, her ball backed up. Where Annika hit it was on a downslope. Sometimes players carry the slope and get an extra 20 yards because they hit on the downslope.
Mm-hmm.
This course seems to be built that way, Grant.
Mm-hmm.
I've noticed that the average players are hitting into these hills. The long players are hitting on the down part.
Well, let's talk about that, because what you're saying there is the difference, the gap and the distance is increased because of the
Absolutely.
way the course
Annika
is
got
set up.
20 yards a roll. Rosie got negative. I mean, it was amazing.
Back it up. Hey, Gersh, that seemed kind of natural just to let the Lopez thing go at the beginning. You know, it was such really good music. You know me, I'm always erring on the side of laying out. I don't like to talk over and stuff. What the heck was that? That was a weird bounce.
Okay.
Who is it?
Annika. It looked like it hit the green with a short iron, like with a wedge, and just bounded forward about 6 or 8 yards. Bar Daniels. This is 18.
Turn.
Turning, 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 turning through the years. Huey. And Sayri Pak is tight at 10.
It's only about 5 feet, I think, isn't it?
It is. Emily Klein to save her par at 9.
Hit her approach shot way to the left and hit a brilliant pitch from the heavy rough to this point. That was a great 4. She is struggling, but trying her best to stay within sight.
She was 2 back when the day started. She's 5 back now. She was bogey-free through her first 3 rounds, but 3 bogeys on the front. Nary a birdie. We're at the 12th now. Second shot, Wendy Ward. Year-old Wendy Ward in her 7th season on this tour. 3 wins, including last year at the Wendy's Championship in Ohio. She'll have that putt to get to 13 under. Let's go back to the 11th and check in on Annika off the green, but would you call this a makeable pitch?
Absolutely, Grant. This putt, this chip or putt, or whichever she wants to do, goes from her right to left. You know, it's really not that far from the pin. It's only about 7 paces. So she can do whatever she wants to. She's pulled out her putter, which is a good play. It's not going to be fast. Plays slightly uphill. You know, her second shot hit really hard because most of these greens, once you get over the ridge, they slope away from the players. And that was just a wedge. I mean, she annihilated her tee shot.
She pitched in from off the green to the 15th on Friday in the midst of what was a really difficult second round for her in which she was not hitting the ball very well, but that seemed to kind of kickstart the rest of the weekend for her. Let's see what happens here.
That ball slow up quickly.
She had the line she wanted. That'll be for par for Annika to stay 16 under. Sayri Pak hit it close at the par 4 10th from out of the right rough. Pak will have a putt to get to 17 under and tie Karin Koch in a moment. Before Annika's 3rd from off the green, Rosie's 3rd.
I want to tell you, this is one difficult chip.
Even on that high shot, that flat takeaway, Sayri Pak birdies 10 from the right rough, and she has joined Karin Koch at 17 under. At one point, it was a 4-shot lead for Karin Koch when she birdied the second, and Pak was back at 14 under. But Pak eagled 4, a birdie at 10, the bogey at 9 for Koch. We have a 2-way tie for the lead. Emily Klein on the tee at 10 now.
Tough for Emily to clear the bunker on the left, so she'll play more to the right. Whoa. Excuse me.
Just grip it and rip it.
She was maybe a little angry on that one and gave it some extra. That was a great drive.
A little energy boost for Emily. And now let's see how Koch responds.
Well, Karin, that first day of the tournament, shot a nice 31 on the front 9 to go with a 31 on the back. An amazing 62 to start this week. And now a 36, as you mentioned, Grant, even par. But, you know, it always comes down to the back 9, it seems. She wasn't able to really keep that big gap that she had going into yesterday's round. Knew that just shooting 2 under par was like standing in quicksand. But as we said, she was still leading coming into today, so she's definitely going to have to get it done here on the back nine.
And you know, in talking to the players, they say it's actually tougher on the back nine, but seems like you can make more birdies. And I'm like, what does that mean? You know, it's supposed to be tough, but you can make more birdies. Well, I think it just suits their eye a little bit better.
You know, 4 of the toughest 5 holes are on the back. But you also have 2 par 5s that are pretty birdieable, and even we've seen eagles on those holes.
She missed her tee shot right at the 9th. That one will catch the right side of the fairway at 10. Still not thrilled with how she's hitting it. Back we go to the 12th hole, the par 4, Wendy Ward. Putt for birdie.
Wendy, the first 2 rounds, had 30 putts, but yesterday 27, although she only hit 7 fairways and 11 greens. All right, lift that one in.
So Wendy goes to 13 under. She's tied for 4th place. Back in the fairway at the 10th, and now the co-leader, Karin Koch.
Remember, too, this is something we've overlooked, that Karin Koch has had 3 top 10 finishes in majors this year. Her best at the beginning of the season at the Nabisco, when she shot a nice, cool 66 on Sunday to finish 5th there. So she has proven that she can handle the pressure of big events. We talked also about the Solheim Cup.
There is a difference, though, isn't there, Kay, in shooting a good round on Sunday when you're not in the lead, and one when you are.
That's right. When you're coming from behind, you feel like you can be a little cavalier. You can be more aggressive rather than being protective. .11 medal from 163. All in all, a pretty good shot to get back to that pin.
Just a moment ago at the 12th, this is Katrina Matthews' second shot.
Katrina was a player that I really thought was going to come out firing. Got it to 13, started 12, got it to 13, but back to 12. Ooh.
Good thing you can mark your ball.
Right.
Pitching from 2 feet. And earlier at 11, Sayri Pak now co-leading at 17 under.
It's the other thing about that strength, getting that ball to chuck like that.
We saw Annika's second shot there at 11 with a short iron. Bounded forward. Sayri stopped as we see our full field scores from Golf Magazine. Annika looking for a 4th consecutive that would tie the all-time record for wins in consecutive events. Told you about Nancy Lopez's streak of 5 straight tournaments won that you've participated in. She took a week off in between there, but any way you slice it, you're looking at 4 this week if Annika were to win, but she remains 1 shot back. And you think that with the win, and here we are Sunday after 4 days, that the stronger players have an advantage, physically stronger.
Well, you just see right there with Sayri's shot there, checking up, driving the ball so far down there. Annika's going to be doing the same thing.
Whereas Karin Koch's coming in, as we just saw, with fairway medals.
Fairway medals, yeah.
Sayri Pak for the outright lead. It would be the first time in 72 hours that someone other than Karin Koch has had the lead.
Speed. Again, you notice how long she kept her head down. She waited till the ball was almost to the hole.
Karin Koch dodges a bullet with Pak's near make. The 11th earlier at 10, Klein.
With a 6-iron in hand. And this was really one of the more aggressive swings of the day. It's almost as if she's saying, okay, let's just forget the front 9 and go after it on the back.
So Klein will have that for birdie. Koch is just off the green, but not far away from the hole at the 10th. Meanwhile, Laura Diaz at the 13th hole. She'll see 4 under for the day, tied for 4th. Dad Ron Philo, renowned golf instructor, here this weekend in Mobile. Back we go to 10 and Koch.
And Karin going ahead and placing her ball within the club length that she's allowed.
As long as it's no closer to the hole, right?
That's right.
Maybe likes the angle better. That's using the rules to your advantage, right, Kay?
Absolutely. And she wants to get it up there as close as she can so she can putt it. And, you know, and that's the only negative with this whole week is that players have had to play live clean and even after you might change it back to playing it down on the weekend, but everything is still so wet out here and they're picking up way too much mud on the ball.
We talked a little while ago that they had 14 inches with just one storm that came through here. Then we had another storm with these hurricanes. Oh, now she's going with a driver.
Sure.
All right.
Got a ball washer in there maybe?
Sure.
Or stretch it out. So while Karin does some housekeeping, let's check back in with Annika. One back of Pak and Koch.
Just barely missing the fairway and not a nice lie. It's kind of nestled down there. Won't get any spin on this. She's got 114 yards to the flagstick. All carry. The pin's kind of front right.
That helps a little bit that it's on the upslope a little bit. Throwing it straight up in the air might land a little bit softer.
She's just going to get so much grass between her and the ball.
You saw what a vicious swipe she took at that second shot. And that's where her strength training comes into play. Her physique is night and day from early last year. At the 18th, Kari Webb for a closing birdie to get to 8 under. Two more wins for Kari Webb this year. Now 28 career titles and 6 major championships. She does have that advantage on Annika. 6 majors to Annika's 4. Karin Koch now has replaced her ball and ready to give it a putt.
Well, this is going to be a pretty challenging putt. It's downhill, down green. You'll have some left to right movement. She's almost going to be forced to play this a little conservatively, for it may easily zip 3, 4, 5 feet by. That was beautifully judged speed-wise.
She needs to start getting the ball a little closer to the hole, okay?
Yep, I agree with you completely.
Karin Koch, a par 4 at the 10th. She moves to the very difficult par 4 11th. When we come back, Pak and Koch and Sorenstam bunkered at 12. Earlier, third shot for Annika at 12.
From this lie, she can put as much spin as she wants.
So that for par for Annika. And now live to save her par. A one back of Pak and Koch.
Little downhill putt here, Grant. Works from her right to left. Par putts, as Donna knows, are sometimes more treasured than birdie putts.
Oh.
Well, Annika with 6 holes to play is now 2 shots behind the co-leaders. A moment ago, Klein for birdie at 10.
Nicely placed underneath the hole. Could be more aggressive than Koch was on her putt.
Oh. Boy, we've seen a lot of edges today.
And on the tee at 11, co-leader Karin Koch.
Well, this ever tough hole this week is going to be even tougher with that hole located all the way towards the back. And there's a good solid drive right down the middle. That's what she needed.
Toughest fairway to hit, toughest green to hit this week, this 11th. So Karin Koch birdied the second, had a 4-shot lead at that point, but now she is tied with Sayri Pak, the defending champion. The bogey from Annika at 12 drops her 2 back with 6 to play.
Got plenty of room behind it. Don't want
She continues to try to accomplish the unthinkable. Christy Kerr played with Annika in the final twosome last week and
Just want to go
caught
right
Annika's
right?
fury.
You know, after that triple bogey that Christy made yesterday, and then terrific comeback. You know, a solid back 9. I really thought she'd come out blazing today.
Bogeyed the first, to birdie 4, and a double on the 6th. And a moment ago at the par 3 14th, Laura Diaz tied for 4th.
Fight.
Just a little 8-iron.
Be right. Fight.
Good.
Okay.
See that flag blowing a little bit harder, wind picking up a little.
Co-leader Sayri Pak at the 12th, second shot upcoming. We saw what happened to Annika Sorenstam. Annika missed the fairway by just a couple of inches and took all of her strength to gouge it out, put it in the front bunker, and couldn't get up and down. Sayri from the rough now.
Side hill lie there. Just not going to have any spin coming
Ooh.
out of there, and now that one's really settled down.
Yeah,
Good thing is she's got a lot of green to work with from back there, so that's one advantage.
she might need it. Laura Diaz birdie putt after that terrific tee shot at the 14th. When you look at her 2 wins this year and you look at the players she beat Annika, beat Julie Inkster in Tucson, and then held off Rosie Jones on one of Rosie's adopted home courses in Corning. Very impressive breakout season for Laura Diaz.
Flew by the speed there. It is down grain.
Karin Koch won in Corning the year before Laura Diaz, getting her into this event. And Koch tied for the lead in the fairway at 11.
And Corning is a very short, tight golf course that you have to place your ball perfectly and keep it below the pin. Really set up well for Karin's game.
Shouldn't be. I was going to say.
Okay.
Talking wind with her caddy David Booker. Just have to be on the same page that it feels as though it's helping right now, helping them a little right to left.
Have to see if she raises that head. If she keeps that head steady and rotates around her body, she's going to hit a good.
169 yards total. Does play about a club uphill. Such a tough shot when you can't see that back part of the green surface.
Yeah, she's going to be happy when she gets there. She knows the gallery clapping, so she knows it's pretty close, but she's going to be happy.
Just an again, 16 under par now and 1 back of Karin Koch at the 15th. Laura Diaz for birdie and a share of 4th place.
Hit it. Boy, when you play on greens like this, and the players maybe 2 or 3 times a year play on this thick, grainy green, Bermuda greens. When you're not used to it, boy, it's so difficult.
Katrina Matthew, as you see now, 15 under par. She has birdied the 14th hole, and so she is now solo 4th place. So Annika, 16 under par, very impressive. You just wonder, does she have enough left in the tank? She has done so much. Can you expect her to keep doing it over and over and over and over? Seri tied with Annika, one back, her second at the 13th.
27 carries, 31 total.
Carrying her hands a little bit lower at the address position, so she hinges a little bit quicker. Oh.
There was a splash. We'll
Every
check the
day.
lie, yeah.
She must have been in that bunker every day.
So Annika now one back of Karin Koch, and I guarantee you that name will loom large if Annika can somehow pick up another birdie and put her name up there with Koch.
This par 3 is playing 133, and the pin is really tucked on the right side. It's only 5 paces on the right. Not much room over the bunker either, about 5 paces over that. So it's really a bit of a sucker pin. So I would, you know, a little left of the pin is definitely the call.
Karin Koch told us yesterday that she does peek at the leaderboard occasionally depending on the moment, and tough to ignore the name of Annika Sorenstam when you're trying to win a golf tournament and she is after you.
See, she's teeing up on the far left side of the tee, which gives her a better angle into that pin.
Not much birdies. Annika knows that she's just got to make a whole bunch of birdies.
Get out of here.
Oh, get it.
What a birdie.
Annika hit it about that close, maybe even inside that yesterday, but from a difficult position to putt and actually lipped out. So Annika will have that for a share of the lead.
Just a little 9-iron that she hit in there.
Can't be too many players that are to the right of this pin and still putting.
Good point. All about precision with Annika. She expects perfection from herself. Second shot earlier at 12 for Koch, still the leader by 1.
This is the stretch here yesterday where she was in the middle of missing all those greens in regulation. And that was a 6-iron. Here today, caught it a little thin, but boy, was it right on the line of the flagstick.
Those hole locations, it seemed like, were all on the left side of the green yesterday, making her go after him a little more in the center this time. And Koch will have a birdie putt. And a reminder that the Buy.com Tour finishes up in Chandler, Arizona, just south of Phoenix, the Gila River Classic at Wild Horse Pass Resort. And that'll come your way immediately following action here in Mobile. Just a couple of events left. One more full field event left on the Buy.com Tour after this week before the Buy.com Tour Championship. We're looking at Janice Moody. Third shot at the 15th, just short right of the green.
Bride to be next week. Done a pretty good job keeping her game in check and then trying to plan a wedding.
Not like that. See that. She's even par for the day. A birdie and a bogey today for Janice. Her folks and the whole crew coming over from Scotland missed their flight in London on Friday. Had to stay over, but they are finally here safe and sound. Hopefully watching today. Rosie Jones also on the left side of the tee box there at 14. Laura?
She's really wanting to make something happen here.
Come on, left.
Inside.
Thank you.
Heading down the back stretch. Championship Sunday, the Mobile LPGA Tournament of Champions. Koch and Sorenstam each with birdie putts when we return. Please.
I thought you should Grant, I must be playing this wrong. I thought you should play, if it's only 5 on to the right, you play a little to the left.
Oh, sure. No, you got to go right. You got to go, yeah.
I no wonder I'm doing so bad out here. You got to go just, you know.
I mean, they had a good 2-3 square yards of a target. I mean, what else do you need?
Unbelievable.
2 balls to the right.
Well, Rosie's inside, aren't
I mean,
There's only 5.
if you miss by 2 yards there, you could kick dead right and be dead.
But the other thing is you're hitting such a short iron that they're pretty dead short iron. So, I mean, I don't think that's much of a problem. And secondly, they may have started a little bit left and drifted a little bit. You only have a 9 iron.
The wind's right to left, Donna, into them a little bit.
Yeah. So 9 iron or 8 iron the most.
Nevertheless, you can be a couple yards to the left, and then you don't have to deal with the kickoff thing.
Yeah.
It just
I mean, really. I'm impressed, but I mean, I'm just.
These girls are good.
These are really good.
I'm just dang impressed. That's all.
Did she miss it?
You used to do the same thing, Laura. You just have forgotten.
Yeah, mental block. Probably good. Save my hair from turning the ball.
She can't get the read. She's there. She's befuddled. What is it?
Oh, it doesn't do very much. Just
For a
barely
2-shot
falls
lead.
left. Oh,
Make her
my
miss. Make her miss. Make her Mookie.
Oh!
Mookie.
Too hard.
Ouch.
Hit it too hard.
I make a miss. How did that stay out?
Played too much green.
Well, that's one way.
Would you tell my cart driver I'll meet her around by the tee? I'm taking a shortcut.
TT.
Could you?
We can't.
Somebody can. Oh, she'll figure it out.
Make a miss. Now, do we make or we miss here, Laura? What do you think?
Well, let's see. Rosie Jones gave her a schooling on the last hole. It's only fair that I'm Rosie on this one. This is pretty simple.
I think she makes this one, actually.
Just right inside that right edge. Oh, me too.
Actually, I think I'm going to use the rest of it.
What? You have got to be kidding me.
How does
Could
that
you have
stay?
them call a birdie putt?
It's the edge.
I'm going to make a little portalay stop.
Okay.
Thank you.
Portalay. How does that stay?
Couldn't hit a
What
better putt.
Perfect putt.
What about... Really? What happened to Double D?
Oh, Annika. What a great putt. International flavor on page 1. Sayri Pak for her par at the 13. Look at what Sayri has done on this golf course last couple of years. She's, of course, 16 under each of the last 2 years. Shot 70, 67, 64, 71 last year. 4 more rounds under par here. Solid, but that's a par 5 on a very birdieable 13th hole.
Yeah, and you heard when she hit that second shot, she said every day. So she obviously has knocked it in that bunker and not happy about it.
Well, Annika has birdied this hole a couple of times, once from off the green. Laura, really the last super tough hole on the course coming in, right?
That's correct, and the pin is in the same place it's been every day, in that front little right knoll. She's a perfect tee shot is just to the left of these fairway bunkers.
So I played the second hardest hole. The 11th was the first hardest, and this is the second.
You know, it's not long. It's just demands an accurate tee shot, and the green is. You have to pay attention on that green. It's got all kinds of little backup spots and funny breaks. And
15 is the toughest hole for the week. Just one birdie today.
Wind slightly into Annika's face.
Shot, Annika.
Rosie gives it the thumbs up. And Laura, look at the kick for the bigger hitters, right?
You know, that is a real unknown observation, is that sometimes the average player will hit into a hill, whereas a long hitter like Annika will land on the downslope and gain an extra 20 yards.
So not just the advantage in terms of normal distance, but you hit it farther and you get the advantage of the kick.
Many times.
Annika's going to have short second shot coming in. Just a moment ago, up at the green at 15, Katrina Matthew to get within 1.
Right.
Matthew would roll that in for her par. Let's take another look at our full field scores from Golf Magazine. And Donna, you referenced it earlier. Katrina Matthew, very underrated. She is 5th on this tour in birdies. She is 10th in terms of rounds under par this year. And she's 7th in greens in regulation. Katrina Matthew, she's a quiet person. She's not a person to take over a room when she walks in, and very quietly having a terrific season. Matthew is 18th on the money list coming into this week.
But I think the problem she's been having is she had 31 putts the first round, 23 the second en route to that 66, and then 30 yesterday when she shot 70, opening round 68. And I think the putter has really just let her down. But she's doesn't have a bad stroke. It's a matter of speed, line, getting the ball on the right spot on these greens where you can run at the putt. Sometimes you can get it, Grant, you can be 5 or 6 feet from the hole all the way around and can't run at a putt because it's on the wrong side of the hole.
Well, we talked about the putts tougher to come by for Karin Koch. Most she's had is 26 first 3 rounds. Sayri Pak 14, 1 back. What does it go in?
See why? She's going to think about that 13th hole and not making birdie there because, boy, she mentally had penciled that one in.
Back at 13, Koch.
Although Klein and Koch both hit good drives, it's out of reach for them in 2. Karin hitting a fairway metal to a desired layup position where she'll have her favorite number in.
Favorable kick off the collar of rough.
Well, that was smart, hitting it to the right to have a good angle to the back left hole location.
Get you to the 16th, the par 5 16th, and an eagle roll for Laura Diaz.
Uphill and then back downhill. You can see that mound right there.
Diaz is going to go to 14 under par. A couple of holes left for Laura Diaz, running out of time, but Karin Koch, through it all, has been able to hang on to this lead. It's a 1-shot lead over Sorenstam and Pak. Pak will have a very short birdie putt coming up at 14. Annika with a second here at 15.
This green is still holding very well. She's got 100 yards to the front, then 106 yards to the flagstick. Just getting herself a good lie here.
Laura, this is the distance, anywhere from 120 yards in, that she works on for hours on end.
She is by far the best player I've ever seen from this distance and on this tour.
We told you about it. The drill she does is she has Terry McNamara with a baseball mitt, and he'll stand at the proper distance, and she will hit it into the mitt. And if he has to move for it, that is unacceptable.
You know, and when this part of your game is so good, it really frees up all parts of your game. It's like when you're a great putter, it frees up parts of your game. So, you know, not only is this good, but it enhances everything else.
1 down, 4 to play.
That's got to go. That's heavy.
I put the jinx on her.
Unforced error from the world's best, and she will have to get up and down just to stay 16 under. Moment ago at 14, Christy Kerr saw another ball on the green when Pak hit it.
Come on, ball. Once.
A little 14-hole magic. And now live at the 14th, Sayri Pak for birdie and a share of the lead with Karin Koch.
Colin, looking at the yardage book, they've charted these greens as all the players do, putting little lines on the green that's in the book showing where the grain is. She sure has stroked the ball well. It's just a matter of the right line.
Second in putting this week. This for a share. As she was after a birdie at the 10th hole, Sayri Pak tied for the lead with Karin Koch. Nancy Scranton hit the flagstick with a tee shot at 17. This for birdie.
Hang in.
It's got to go.
Come on.
Nearly a 1. You can't take a 3. Scranton to 11 under par and tied for 11th place. Earlier, third shot, Koch.
Little touch shot inside 70 yards, downhill lie. Really played a nice one hop off that little downslope on the green.
Very nice. 10-footer maybe?
Right after Pak gets a share, Karin Koch will have that to go back up by 1. Annika Sorenstam has missed the green short at 15. She'll have a tough up and down. Still chasing history. A birdie at the par 3 14th for Sayri Pak has pulled her even with Karin Koch, the defending champion. Now it's 17 under. Koch still at 17. A birdie putt for Koch momentarily at the 13th. Annika Sorenstam. Short iron in her hand at the 15th hole, came up well short of the green. Annika hit that pitch shot to this point. This for her par to stay 16 under.
Tricky little downhill putt, 3 feet.
So that not for a share of the lead, but for Annika, a par save and quite possibly keeping her hopes alive. Koch to go back up by 1 at 13K.
She's missed 3 makeable birdie putts in a row. It's about time to drop one.
Oh, hit it.
Oh, she's got to be so frustrated.
Oh.
She's hitting the ball so much better today, just not holding the putts.
So another missed opportunity for Karin Koch. Pak and Koch at 17 under. Koch is even for the day. Pak is -2. Check that -3. Annika is -3 as well. We're at the 16th hole. This event was played the first 3 years at Grand Cypress in Orlando. That's where Janice will tie the knot next week. She was one of the few to beat Annika this year in North Augusta. And coming up Monday night, mark your calendars, set the VCR. Golf Talk Live. Bernhard Langer going to sit down with us and share some of the memories of an amazing career. 2 Masters victories for Bernhard Langer, and of course yet another chapter in his storied Ryder Cup career at the Belfry just a week ago. A couple of weeks ago by now. And we'll stay at this par 5 16th, where Wendy Ward is going to try to play this hole in 6 under for the week. A couple of eagles already, and this to go back to 14 under par. Wendy set that in winning last summer at the Wendy's Championship. Established a 54-hole tournament record, 21 under par, lowest ever in a 54-hole event. Annika Sorenstam matched that in Chicago earlier this year.
She's always had talent.
Well done, Wendy.
Back into tie for 4th place. Wendy Ward at 14 under.
Just had to straighten out a couple things in her game. One specifically her driver. After that, get her confidence back. And, Not a surprise she's playing well.
2-1-1 in the Solheim Cup, including that very important halve with Annika Sorenstam of the Sunday singles. We take you to our final twosome in the par 3 14.
Perhaps it will behoove Karin to have Emily Klein hit first. After Emily made a nice little birdie at the last hole, her first birdie of the day. Karin will get a good sense of just how much farther this hole is playing today. The hole location, Donna, is pretty close to where it was yesterday in terms of how far onto the green back in that right portion, but it's a little further to the right.
Okay.
133 yards total. She needs to hit it at least 129 to carry to the fringe back right. Plays about a half club long.
You can see this area right in here. Right in here. Never kick that direction.
Right down in this little hollow, you can't feel any breeze blowing at all. I'm not sure that there's much blowing anyway.
Yeah, I'm surprised. It started out blowing pretty strong, and
a little so-called cold front blowing through.
Right,
it's
exactly.
75 degrees today, 78 rather than so hot and humid like it's been the last 3.
We've had 3 different conditions, really, when you think about the torrential rains on Thursday and then very hot and sticky conditions Thursday, Friday, Saturday, I should say.
Looks like Emily's going for the 7-iron.
Cut.
Yeah, pulled it to the left.
yeah, needed a cut to take that ridge.
Doesn't appear to be Emily's day. It may well be Se-Ri Pak's day. Her second shot at 15, tied for the lead.
Feet are right. Go!
I think it's right.
Excellent shot.
Se-Ri Pak snapped Annika's streak at 4 last year by winning that rain-shortened Long Strugs Challenge in Sacramento. She may well snap another Annika streak today. Karin Koch would love to have something to say about that at 14.
Important for Karin not to try to press and feel as though she needs to hit it closer in order to make a birdie. Bringing it in high from the right, this could be quite good.
Very nice.
So Karin Koch a good look at birdie, but Se-Ri Pak just a couple of feet away from the outright lead. Third shot at the par 3 17th for Laura Diaz. So that's her third shot at the par 3. That's going to be for bogey for Laura Diaz. So for the moment, it's Annika's getting a ruling here. Let's listen in.
But there's no grass right in here because the tire tracks have come off. So we're sitting down on the bare. We're sitting down on the
ball's
bare
not
grass.
bare, Terry. Annika, I mean, it's in a low spot, but it's not a rut. And you give relief for ruts, but not for tire tracks. In this case, there's no relief.
Not for time?
No.
I thought so.
So you're gonna have to play it.
All right. Well, thank you then.
Pretty much heard all that, didn't you, Grant?
That's a rut.
Gallery trying to curry favor of rules official. Haley. Annika will have to play.
Take your time here.
Thinking it was an entire rut, as you heard. Back at 18. Laura Diaz for a round of 67. Very typical, as we said, typical of Laura Diaz. She was 8 back when the day started. You still go out, you play your best. And a grin for McMallen, her Solheim Cup teammate from a couple of weeks ago. Big shot here for Annika Sorenstam. 2 down.
Not a bad lie, nothing between her and the pin. Only problem is there's a little slope. She's got to judge how far onto it to go.
So it's not a rut. So obviously not happy with the ruling that she got. Now she's got to calm down here.
On the tee at 17, Katrina Matthew.
Get in there, ball.
Feet in.
Get in there, ball.
Down. Come on.
Come on, ball. That's a great shot.
Keep going.
They're coming.
Okay.
Great shot.
Take you to the 15th. Karin Koch.
It's been ranked the second hardest hole throughout the week. And it's just a kind of a crazy green. They've pretty much put the hole location on the front right part of the screen all week.
Okay.
.166 yards total. Wants to land this 160, and it's probably playing just a smidge longer. 7 metal. Needs to stop turning to the left. Ooh, just caught that left side of the green. That's a pretty good shot.
Well, Karin Koch still with a shot, but Sairi Pak has taken control of this tournament. It's Pak by 1, and Annika 4th shot now at 16.
Just a shortened version of her third.
Annika will stay at 16 under. Rosie at the 16th for birdie.
Birdie putt moves from right to left.
Rosie gets to 15 under par, but Sairi Pak playing the par 5 16th leads by 1. And let's look at our tailor-made tale of the tape. That's why you have to say advantage Sairi with the lead, and advantage of having this 16th. Annika unable to birdie 16. Annika birdies 1 of the 4 par 5s today. That was back at 13. This is the hole where Sairi, the leader, is playing as we speak. And a moment ago at 17, Katrina Matthew to get to 16 under and a share of 3rd.
Hit it. Hit it. Oh my gosh.
Well, we said the conditions a little more difficult today because of the wind. And the scoring average today is a half a stroke over par. The first couple of days, first 3 days in fact, it was sub 70 for a couple of those days. One day right about 70. Sairi Pak, the leader by 1 over Karin Koch. Koch has a mid-range birdie putt, certainly not one that gimme by any means. You're looking at 18 feet or so for Koch's birdie attempt at 15. Pak's second shot here at 16.
Easily can get to this green. Hole location on the left side. Where you can get the ball close to the hole is just to the right of the flag. That gets a good bounce. That looks pretty good. Oh, what a shot.
And it has made it up to that second tier. So Sairi Pak will have an eagle putt already with a 1-shot lead. Will it be back-to-back for Sairi? Finishing up at 18, the second for Janice Moody. New set of irons have suited her nicely. And look, they even give her good kicks. That's what you want out of your irons. At the 15th, Karin Koch.
Just about a 20-footer. Oh, there's just once again and again and again right over the edge. She probably feels she can't buy a putt right now.
Yeah.
Hole looked so big the first 2 days.
No birdie since the 6th hole today. Thought it had a chance. So Koch remains 1 down, and Sairi Pak, the leader, has a putt for eagle. It's not a close putt necessarily, but it is going to be on that top tier at the 16th. It's going to be a short birdie putt, but by no means a gimme. And it's 17 Annika for birdie. Look at the break. Well, the putt at 14 earlier was for a share of the lead, and it didn't drop. It lipped out, and Annika now 1 hole to play, 2-3 behind at the moment. Well, Annika Sorenstam, the first player since this lady to win 9 times in a single year. That was 1978. And the final round today, Nancy, how was it?
Well, I started off with a double, which wasn't really good. But then I kind of pulled myself together, and I got back to even par. And then on the last few holes, I got a little tired, and I bogeyed a few coming in. But it was a fun last day. The wind blew. It wasn't quite as hot as it was yesterday. It was a little more difficult with the wind, but I had a great time out there.
Well, you were saying this is the, I mean, you're playing all 4 rounds here. I mean, you are going to, and this is kind of up and down these hills. It is wearing you a little bit.
And I've only played 1 tournament this year where I finished 4 rounds. So I'm not in really good shape for 4 days of tournament play.
Well, this has been an amazing year, hasn't it, really, when you think back? I mean, just putting aside how great the career has been, this has been a pretty memorable year, hasn't it?
It has been. It's gone by so quickly, though. I can't believe it's already September, and we have to get ready for Christmas. But it was a great year. I had a lot of fun seeing people, spending time with my fans and the tournament directors and everyone at the tournaments. I got a lot of beautiful gifts this year, which I wasn't expecting, and I really want to thank everyone for everything that they have given me this year, and all the support from all the fans and all the people that have followed my golf game over the past 25 years. It's been a lot of fun hitting some good shots for them, and it's been a lot of fun you know, letting them help me pull out those bad shots too.
You cash in those gifts, you might be leading the money list.
I just said every time I sign something, I said, I hope I don't see this on eBay.
Yeah.
All right, let's get out to 16 now. Sairi Pak for a 2-shot lead.
5 under for the day, 19 for the tournament.
Yes.
2-putt birdie for Sairi Pak, and the lead is now 2. Karin Koch is playing the 16th as we speak. Annika Sorenstam made her par at the 17th, so Sorenstam now 3 back, just 1 hole left for her. Katrina Matthew earlier at the 18th.
She could make birdie, get in there tied for 3rd.
As you wish. Annika still with the 18th to play. Nancy, just to clarify, this has been your farewell tour, but just to clarify, you are going to play a few events next year, but you don't really know which ones yet, right?
I will play the Chick-fil-A because I am hosting that tournament, but
can you get a sponsor's invite to that one?
I might be able to.
We can put a word in for you.
I really don't know exactly what I'm going to do. I know that I'm going to have more time to practice on my golf game and spend time with my family, which I've felt like I've always had to be kind of stressed in doing that. But my golf game might get pretty solid again, and I'm looking to lose about 15 more pounds so that my feet don't hurt the way they have this week. And so I'm going to trying to get back in really good shape. And when I do play next year, hopefully I will play very well, and I might still be able to win one.
Nancy, you going to do any charity work which is near and dear to your heart?
Yes, I will. I always do a lot for Aim for the Handicapped. They do a lot for me just because the kids are so special. They're handicapped children. And I have a hospice term in Albany where I live, and I will do other charity events, I'm sure, which I've participated in this past year. But, you know, when God gives you the opportunity to make money for people that are less fortunate than you are, and when you're a celebrity golfer, any kind of athlete, you know, you need to give back in any way that you can. I think charity is the best way to do it.
Well put. Stay with us for just a sec. Let's get you to the 18th hole. And Katrina Matthew, this to get to 16 under, and for the moment, a share of 3rd place. Katrina had the lead heading into the final round in Canada earlier this year. Just brutal conditions. Wound up finishing tied for second there. #16 under par for Katrina Matthew, a round of 4 under 68. We'll continue speaking with Nancy Lopez when we return to Mobile. Sayri Pak, a 2-putt birdie at the 16th. Her lead is 2 over Koch and now 3 over Sorenstam. Annika Sorenstam at the 18th hole. Might need to go in. Nancy, we're watching Annika, and clearly the best player of this era.
Yes.
When you, as you think about wrapping up your career, do you remember the very first event you played as a member of the LPGA Tour?
Yes, I do. It was, well, I was a declared professional. I played in the U.S. Open at Hazeltine and lost to Hollis Stacy. It was a week before I went to get my tour card, and played very well there, and second place check was $7,800, and I carried it in my pocket for quite a while because I kept looking at it saying, wow, I'm a millionaire, I'm a millionaire. And but my zipper busted that Sunday when I was playing with Hollis, and I ended up finishing second, but then went on and qualified for the tour. Then I think my first professional event was in New York, where Debbie Austin won that. I was second to her in that event, and I remember playing for, well, I was putting on the 18th hole on Sunday, and the leaderboard was right behind the green, and it said, Debbie Austin, then Nancy Lopez, and Kathy Whitworth, I think, finished third. And all I thought about was how much money I would lose if I 3-putted that last hole. And I was choking. And I ended up 2-putting, finishing second, and I made a nice check that week too, which was, when you first start out on tour, you count your money before you finish playing. But I won my first event in Sarasota, Florida, and that was very exciting. My last putt was about a 2-footer to win, and I felt like it was about a 10-footer, and I was just really thrilled to win my first tournament. It kind of got me over the hill.
Sayri Pak's first victory, a major championship, U.S. Women's Open. This to go 20 under.
This is just like the last. This is really slippery, breaking from her left.
Get in there.
That was some beautiful tempo on that stroke.
She's about the first player that we've really seen read that correctly with the right speed.
Sayri Pak has seized control of the Mobile LPGA Tournament of Champions with a back nine barrage of birdies. She birdied 10, and after a bogey at 12, birdied 14, 15, 16, and now 17. She leads by 3. Annika Sorenstam, one more run at birdie at the 18th. That have been the story of Annika's week. She has, to her credit, hung in there the entire week with guts and ball striking and doing whatever it takes, but a missed opportunity, and today for Annika it's going to be 27 putts, the fewest of her 4 rounds, but not enough.
I just don't think she was comfortable on these greens. Sometimes you go to a golf course and you can't see the break. You can see the grain, but you just don't have the right feel for them.
And this gives us pause just to reflect a little bit. Nancy, you have a better perspective than anyone of what it's like when you have a season like this. It's going to be perceived as a disappointment, and here she is tied for 3rd place, 9 victories, and that string of 3 in a row going to come to an end.
Well, Annika is the type player that wants to be better every day she goes out there. And if she doesn't, it's like you expect so much from yourself. And if you don't reach those expectations, you're disappointed. And I think that that's what she feels, because she's that type of competitor. She's a great player, and you know, I think she really wanted to win this week because she knows the best of the best are here, and this is where she wanted to probably win her 9th or 10th tournament this year.
Did you think you were going to win every time you teed it up?
I tell you, yes, I did. Golf seemed easy because every hole looked big. You know, the fairways were so wide. They felt very wide. And every green was so big, I just felt like I could hit every green. And when I stepped up to every putt, I thought it was going to go in.
Annika, with 4 more tournaments to play on the schedule, she could still, if she won out, tie Mickey Wright with 13 wins in a season. Unbelievable to even be thinking of such things. Karin Koch has to wonder, what if today, Kay?
You know, it's almost like she just kind of ran out of gas this weekend. Blazed through this course the first 2 days, and then struggled yesterday to a 70, and today it's just nothing, could never get anything going. Emily Klein didn't make many birdies either. It was like they couldn't feed off each other as well.
She still has to hang in there, though. Second and third place is still an awful lot of money.
Well, she's 15th on the money list so far this year, and that's her best. She's not broken in the top 20 previous years.
That is going to be a tough putt.
Oh, you could say that again, Grant.
That is going to be a tough putt.
I can read that one. I was there.
Just before that, Emily Klein.
Emily Klein used a 6-iron, and she hit the spot you need to hit it. Short left of the pin.
Nice shot.
The slope do its work.
That'll be for birdie for Emily Klein to get to 14 under. That'd be a share of 7th place. And finishing up, Annika Sorenstam for par and a round of 3 under par 69. Disappointing she didn't win, but it is going to be, looks like a 5th place or a tie for 4th place finish for the best player of this era, as we say goodbye to the best player of the generation past. Nancy, for everybody who's ever watched you and who's loved women's golf, thanks.
Thank you.
I'll
really enjoyed
miss
it.
you.
I'll miss you too.
Call.
Don't be a stranger. Sayri Pak, the leader by 3, heading to the 18th, looking for her 2nd straight Tournament of Champions title. Well, last year it was a Saturday 64 that propelled Sayri Pak to victory. Today it was razor sharp iron play on the back 9. At this point she was 1 shot behind Karin Koch. That's the par 3 14th. She rolled in that uphill putt for birdie. She's at 17 under. Then at the 15th hole, Annika Sorenstam, a similar position. She left hers short. Watch what Sayri does.
Be right. Go!
Be right, she asked. Be right it was. She would tap that in for birdie to go to 18 under. For the first time all week, she had the lead. And then at 16, reachable in 2. And Sayri did just that. Holding that pose with good reason. Up onto the top tier, she would 2-putt for birdie from that point. And Pak went to 19 under. The lead was 2. And then at the 17th hole, really the last dangerous shot on the course, she did this. Hole location front right. Begging for a shot to trickle in from the left. Played perfectly. Still not an easy putt, but she curled it in there. 4 straight birdies, and now the final approach at 18.
Pin all the way back, 138.
A touch of class from a very deserving champion. She'll be the first to win this tournament twice. And look where Karin Koch is aiming at 17.
Way out to the left, a roller coaster type putt. This might go off the green. That's just a wicked putt from there. Big mistake leaving that ball to the left.
That was that swing that she had going there for about 4 or 5 holes yesterday, where everything was to the left.
Now again, the key here, if you're watching and wondering, they are playing lift, clean in place, and that's why she's marking her ball and cleaning it, replacing it, because that is considered fairway.
It's, yeah, lift, clean in place through the green, and that's everywhere except the rough. And it's really adding a little bit of length to the round, because players are given a club length, and often when they're on the edge of the green, Karin has moved it several times, almost a full club length, to get a better angle for the next putt. And Donna, I almost think she spent so much time over all these putts, really thinking and analyzing. Sometimes you just need to see it and react a little more.
Right.
But these greens are challenging in the sense that, as we've discussed, there just aren't that many straight-in putts here. And really, if you think about it, these are not nearly as fast as these greens could be because of the moisture.
They've
earlier in the
definitely
week.
dried out more today.
Yes. Second place is worth $75,500. She wants to hold that position.
For Paul.
Oh no, it's just been a terribly frustrating day for Karin Koch.
62, 67, 70 for first 3 days, and she's 1 over, providing that putt drops today. We mentioned it. She has had the lead going into the final round 7 times in her LPGA Tour career and had yet to cash that in for victory. It appears it'll be 0 for 8. But a lot of that was due to Sayri Pak today. Player birdies 4 holes in a row coming in. Tough to beat. Emily Klein for birdie.
Emily started the day at 15 under, 3 bogeys on the front. Put her out of the tournament reach. But she has maintained patience on the back 9 and has could have made 2 or 3 more birdie putts, rolled quite a few over the edges. This to get back to 14 under. That's a nice late day too.
A birdie at 18 and she would match her best finish of the year, which had been 4th when she needed it at the State Farm. That was to qualify for the Solheim Cup on points. Christy Kerr at the 18th finishing up.
Go ball.
Go.
Go, come on.
Get back there.
Get up.
Got that. Christy 3 over for the day today. For the second straight week in one of these bonus events, one of these elite events, as you see her live now lining this birdie putt up. Christy Kerr has played well. Last week it was Annika storming to victory on Sunday right past her. And today, Kerr just unable to keep up. She bogeyed the first hole, and from that point on, seemed to be behind the 8 ball. That putt for a 75 for Christy Kerr.
Christy was pretty excited about playing today, so she just loves these Bermuda greens. Well, she was raised in South Florida, so she knows them pretty well, but unfortunately I think her ball hit really got in her way.
So just outside the top 10, tied for 11th place, Christy Kerr. She's had 7 top 10s this year. But Sayri Pak shot 64 on Saturday last year. She had a 7-shot lead when the final round started. She shot a 1 under 71 and cruised to a 5-shot victory. Today, a different story. After the second hole, she was 4 shots behind Karin Koch. But Koch would bogey 3, Pak would eagle 4, and she was never more than 2 back the rest of the day.
You know, she's been a picture of consistency, though, Grant. She's you know, been hitting the ball well, just working on getting her driver in the fairway, and has always been happy with her putting. always been real positive this week about her putting.
Yeah, she said she struggled a little bit with her drive at the beginning of the week, the beginning of the event, but has settled in nicely.
This putt should slide a little bit right to left. The key this week, I think, has been her patience. It's been incredibly impressive.
Well, after missing 4 fairways each of the first 2 days, she's missed just 3 over the last 36. That's what she wanted to straighten out, and she did just that. This for a round of 65. Well, she was hoping to hear a roar after that putt. Instead, she'll remark, line it back up.
Probably still hear a roar, Grant.
Yeah.
Yeah, well deserved. On a day when the scoring average has been over par, it's a back 9 blitz from Sayri Pak that has lifted her to her 4th win of the year and her 2nd straight.
The Gowers
win
have
in
been
this
wonderful
event.
out here, Grant. Just wonderful. Been very appreciative of all the good shots, and so they'll give her a big loud roar here.
Pop to pop. A closing 66 for Sayri Pak. And a back 9 32. Her sister Yuri here this week to help her celebrate. The first player to win this event twice and the first to win it back-to-back. She'll sign her card, and we'll come back to Mobile with more from the Mobile LPGA Tournament of Champions.
The Golf Channel's presentation of the LPGA Tournament of Champions. Brought to you by Michelob Light, official beer of the LPGA. Visit lpga.com. By the beauty of Subaru all-wheel drive. When you get it, you get it. By Smirnoff. Discover Smirnoff and enjoy it responsibly. And by Golf Magazine, your best way to a better game.
At the 18th hole, Karin Koch kicks off our scorecard report. Not the 18th she had hoped for.
By not getting up to the top tier, she now has a 50-footer. Very challenging to 2-putt, but that was a good first putt.
And that to stay tied for 2nd place with Katrina Matthew.
Well, you're right, Donna. If you can't win it, you want to stop the bleeding and at least secure 2nd place. It means a lot.
Sayri Pak with some souvenirs. Galleries here around the 18th.
While we're at it, gotta have your golf club, so you must be so lucky. Thank you.
Little number that Donna Capone wore earlier this week. The Southern Bells out in force. And Sayri Pak is seeing 2020, isn't she?
She certainly did play solid golf, and this morning it was funny talking to her that she just had an air about her that she knew she was going to play well and go low today, and boy didn't she.
A couple of players told us last night she was the one to watch, even with Annika in the field. Emily Klein for a closing birdie, and this would be for a share of 4th.
And this would be for a birdie finish and get her back to 15 under where she started the day.
Been a long day, hasn't it?
Yes, but at least she has the chance of winning or ending on a very positive note. Well, the birdie she made at the last hole, she hit it to about 2 feet. And I guess that's what she had to do today, because no putts dropped for Emily Klein.
And she was very positive all week about how solid she was playing, how well she was rolling the ball. And
generally speaking, a great last month of golf for Emily Klein.
Highlighted, of course, by that 3-1 showing at the Solheim Cup, helping lead the U.S. to a very impressive come-from-behind victory at Interlaken.
Part of a great rookie showing that the U.S. team had.
A 4th, a 5th, a 7th, a 14th for Emily Klein, the last 4 events, not including the Solheim Cup, but she's a competitor, and she's not going to be happy with a 73 on Sunday. Neither will Karin Koch, I dare say.
Well, Karin still has a few events left to play, and she still has a chance at cracking the top 10 on the money list. She will not come back to play next year until they're thinking the U.S. Open. She will have a baby in April, and then spend some time back in Sweden with her family, and maybe get back into playing around the end of June or July. So she has to take advantage of this next month and a half.
Very impressive 2-putt on the last hole for Karin Koch, but not the ovation she was hoping for when she putted out at 18. And it does make you wonder about the dynamics of a twosome that just can't get anything going. It happened for Klein and Koch today. Well, Karin Koch burst out of the gate quickly with a round of 62. Course record. Her personal best. She was trying to go wire to wire, but instead, for the 8th time in her LPGA Tour career, she is unable to seal the deal when she takes a lead or a share of the lead into the final round. In this case, Se-Ri Pak played great, but Karin Koch did have her chances today.
That she did, but you know, you keep saying it, and it's such a cliche, but it's a learning process. You know, you get yourself in this position a lot of times, which she has done. She's going to start breaking through, and then it's going to be a breeze for her.
The question is, the more those add up, does it begin to weigh on you?
Sure it does.
And you as players, you may not know the exact numbers. Some of them do. But it's now 8 times that Karin Koch has had a chance. But this is a day to tip your cap to Se-Ri Pak. Began the day 3 shots behind Karin Koch. Went out and shot the best round of the day. And she gets our Microsoft Agile shot of the day. It happened to the 15th. She had just tied Karin Koch with a birdie at 14.
Be right.
She asked for it to be right, and it was. She would never trail from that point. Our Microsoft Agile shot of the day. When software quickly connects all aspects of your business, you can act and adapt quickly. Software for the Agile business from Microsoft. For the 17th time in her LPGA Tour career, Se-Ri Pak is a winner for the 4th time this year. Number 2 on the money list, number 1 on the leaderboard. And she's got some bookends now. 2nd straight win in Mobile. We're back with the trophy presentation and more in a moment. The 9th Mobile LPGA Tournament of Champions is in the books. And for the 2nd straight year, Se-Ri Pak gets the trophy. Kay Cockrell at 18.
That's right, and this is what it's all about, the presentation here at the 18th green. Right off the bat, I would like to introduce 5 gentlemen to my right who are very involved with this event and make it happen. First off, to my very far right, Mr. Brian Flagel, who's with Raycom Sports. Thank you so much for organizing such a tremendous event. Left of him is John Van Wickhouse, who is the presenting sponsor with Ultimate Software. Left of John is Cornelius Bennett, NFL great and golf enthusiast. Thank you very much for your support this week. Next is Reggie Copeland, who is president of the City Council here of the City of Mobile. Mobile has been a wonderful city to host this grand event.
Thank you.
Thank you for ordering up some nice weather, particularly today. And now to my right, Russell Redford, who is the COO of this grand golf course here, Robert Trent Jones Golf Trail. Fabulous venue.
Thank you very much, Kay. On behalf of Alabama's Robert Trent Jones Golf Trail in Magnolia Grove, we'd like to welcome everybody here today. We're really pleased to be able to host the Tournament of Champions again, and we want to thank the City of Mobile, all the sponsors and volunteers, because without your help, we can't pull this thing off. Say-Ree, congratulations, defending champion, set a tournament scoring record, and I get the great opportunity to present you with a piece of a Lenox crystal.
Congratulations, Say-Ree. You are the first to win this Tournament of Champions twice, and you won it back-to-back. What is it about this great golf course and this tournament that inspires you to play so well?
I think first of all, probably the way Annika, the way she's playing, actually make me a lot of hard work, and then I mean, of course, I'm gonna just do my game has to improve, but I really like this golf course. Make a lot of challenge and have a lot of idea how to make my swings better. And then I love here city people. It's really nice, really warm. And then the way I think the way I like in the Mobile, I think.
I'd say you love it here. You really got it done on the back nine today. 4 straight birdies in a row. What clicked for you to enable you to play so well on the back nine, the championship nine?
I think kind of a little slow start earlier, and then the first eagle in par 5, and the first for a 9, and then otherwise straight par. I make myself a little bit slow down, and some use my groups just a little, come down, and then I make first bogey at number 12 again. I think that makes me like pretty much wing me up, and then I saw the scoreboard. And doesn't look so far behind it, so I just make myself okay. I trying to keep it up, and then suddenly my games get much better at the end.
It seemed like you really hit the ball great on the practice tee. Did you work on anything in particular the last couple days to hit the ball better?
I think first 2 days I didn't really swing well because I thought me and my ball was just too much forward. I mean, too forward and too far away from the ball. Then I find out yesterday that striking ball really better, and then hitting driver much better. I mean, I have a couple of weeks driver problem, but it's today. I mean, everything else fixed done by before I tee off, and then suddenly everything's worked.
Well, you sure did make it work. Tremendous play this week. Congratulations. You are the 2002 champion of the Tournament of Champions. Back to you.
Say-Ree Pak wins with a 66. Karin Koch, the lead by 2 coming into the final round, finishes tied for second. She's with Laura Baugh.
Thank you, Grant. Everything was going very well, managing the course well, and just the putter misbehaved.
Yeah, I didn't start playing really well the first few holes. Well, the second hole I knocked it about this, but a little nervous to start off, and then I started playing really good at the back and just frustrating. Could not make, couldn't get a putt to go in the hole, and it's so frustrating. You don't get any momentum going, and I knew, a couple of drop it would really make a huge difference today. So, and it did. That's what I needed to do.
Just keep putting yourself there over and over again, and then it just happens.
I guess that's what I need, a little more experience, maybe.
All right, well, thanks for talking to us. Back to you guys.
Thanks, Laura.
Okay. It is time for our Cleveland Golf Sunday wrap, and that smile was ever present the first 3 days from Karin. She got the tournament off to a hot start in dreary conditions with a course record and personal best 62 capped by that birdie at the 18th. In the second round, Koch didn't hold her second shot at the 5th as she did in round 1.
Go on, man.
And she almost did. Koch would birdie that 5th hole en route to a 5-under par 67. But the shot of the day, the week, and maybe the year, Laura Davies, second at the par 5 13th. A double eagle 2, her first.
To the hole.
Big hitting Laura Davies, for the first time in her life, makes a 2 on a par 5. Highlighting her second round, but it was Koch still by 4 heading into the weekend. Defending champion Say-Ree Pak stayed close the entire week. A birdie putt at the par 5 16. Blasted from the green side bunker in an awkward position. Helped Say-Ree stay near the top. Emily Klein playing that par 5 and 3. Made an eagle the hard way. And it was Klein who got to 15 under. But Karin Koch in that third round missed 6 consecutive greens in the middle of her third round, got up and down each time, and then stiffs it at the 18th. Round over the round of 2 under par 70 and heading into the final round for the 8th time with a lead or a share of the lead. She would birdie early, then a bogey, and then at the 6th hole today, birdie to get back to 18 under. That would be her last birdie, however, of the week. Se-Ri Pak tied Karin Koch with a birdie at 14 and then did this at the 15. Go! That gave Se-Ri the lead by herself, a lead she would never relinquish. And then on 18, this for par. And the round of the day, a 66 on a day the scoring average was a half a stroke over par. Pak shoots 66 to win going away. A 5-shot win a year ago, a 4-shot win for Se-Ri Pak today. Our Cleveland Golf Sunday wrap.